we gotta talk about our boy Victor Wembanyama. I know you guys hate talking about him, right? We all hate talking about him, right, chat? We hate him. We hate discussing him, but sometimes we have to talk about him sometimes, right? You just gotta do what you gotta do. So just really quick, I don't know if you guys seen this, but he's top 10 in centers and defensive playmaking. So if you want to know what defensive playmaking is, let's go ahead and listen to this. Hold on. There we go. Making sure everything is on.
What
That is not in my earphones. I lied to myself.
is defensive playmaking?
What is it?
Defensive playmaking is a metric that includes all the ways a defender can disrupt an offense. It's made up of deflections, offensive fouls drawn, steals, and blocks, both recovered and unrecovered. Each of these have their own weighting in the formula based on on-court value. For example, a steal is worth more than an offensive foul drawn due to the fact it can spark a transition opportunity. Both a steal and offensive foul drawn are worth more than a deflection because they guarantee the opposing team's offensive possession is over. To play around with this metric and other next-gen stats, head on over to B-Ball Index.
There you go. There you go. So basically that's the formula. It just takes into account everything that you do defensively that basically can result in, you getting the ball back and you making something happen. So deflections, offensive fouls drawn, steals, and blocks. Well, Wembanyama, he's top 10. Actually, he's top 9. Actually, top 7, top 4, top 3. He's top 1. He's number 1 in the league as far as defensive playmaking. I would like to know what this looks like for guards. I don't think that they posted anything pertaining to guards, but I would assume Derek White will be in the top 5 there, right? He should be. But that's really cool. Really great stuff there. Victor is killing it, absolutely killing it. I know that this is like this is probably a pretty weak point, right? Like, I'm trying to think of any reason possible to keep some of our players because I really love everyone that's on the team. Okay, I know that I get this rep for not liking Keldon. It's not that I don't like Keldon, I just don't think he fits. But I've tried to convince myself so many times, like, yeah, he could fit if this happens, if this happens, this happens. And this last season, I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't vibing with it. But I will say this, I'm trying to convince myself on another player, and that's Blake Wesley. And the reason being is because the fact that Victor is the best in the game as far as defensive playmaking and creating fast transitions, I think that actually is right up Blake Wesley's alley, just because he is so freakishly athletic and so quick. He might be one of the fastest players in the NBA, right? So I don't know. I think that he could get a lot of easy buckets there. He plays good defense as well, and it just really helps our team overall. So I don't know. Also, another thing too, as far as this upcoming season, I think that this helps as well because Chris Paul is going to be able to just shoot that thing down the court, right? I mean, there's going to be very little fast breaks that the Spurs do not capitalize on, right? So that's just how I see it. It's good stuff though, man. It's good stuff. And I think if I asked you, without seeing any of this, and I said who's the number 1 center in defensive playmaking, I think everyone would think Victor Wembanyama. Another player that the Spurs seem to be somewhat interested in at some point in time was Walker Kessler, and he is 8. Anthony Davis at 7. Jaren Jackson's another one that stands out. A lot of people hate Andre Drummond. Okay, whether we can do it in the chat, we can talk about it in the chat later, but anybody that's watching this video later, can you please let me know in the comments why people hate Andre Drummond? I truly want to know. I know that he's not the best playmaker or the best scorer or shooter in the world, not the best free throw shooter in the world, but why do people hate Andre Drummond? Because I always thought that he was a pretty solid center. But then again, maybe I just don't watch him enough. Chris Paul averaging 15 assists this season. Just watch. He's going to average quite a few assists. We already looked at, what was it? Per 75 possessions or something like that, that he would average over 10. Well, he's already averaging over 10. Yeah, because he already had those possessions. Yeah, he's already averaging over 10. Let's see. I think he's at 10.6, right? Let's see. We can just look straight from Google. Oh no. What the heck was I talking about? I was talking about days with the Suns. Okay, he was at 6.8. Okay, maybe it was per 75 possessions that it brought him up to 10, like he was over 10. Pretty interesting stuff. But yeah, this is really great. And it's good that we're on that list. Speaks volumes.